In today's video, we're going to be breaking down Amy Porterfield's $100 million marketing model. Here, we're going to break down exactly why she moved from the normal course selling business, opted into going into more of a consulting slash coaching business model that she has today. And what we're going to do today is show exactly why she made that shift and how you can use those same principles in your business so that you don't fall behind in the age where AI is taking over and information has become less of the commodity that it used to be. We're going to break down the shift, exactly why she made the shift, and then we're going to go through her entire funnel and break down exactly what she's doing and all the principles that she's using to gain new leads, more conversions, and increase her revenue with her new business model. That way, you'll be able to install everything and use the different taxes that she's using in your own business. So you'll see that 4 months ago, she posted a podcast and an announcement video basically explaining that she's stepping away from DCA Academy. And in the first part of the video, we're going to cover the truth behind why she walked away. And then we're going to show the unspoken industry reality and why the model shifted. So we'll see that the old way here pre-COVID was for people to just buy raw information and DIY modules. These courses were costing anything from $500 to $1,500, and it was a financial sweet spot for most people that were entering into a coaching business or wanting to start their own coaching business. And also, it also meant that funnels were built on cheap paid traffic and long email sequences, which meant that it was very easy for anyone to pick up that model and do it and resell digital courses without having to do any extra work. And now in today's reality, a lot of things have changed. We see that a lot of people have less trust in the current market, and it's harder for you to just pitch a $500 product to a cold audience using ads. They actually need to be targeted, they need to be nurtured, and for you to move them up the ladder into a higher paying customer. So now today's reality is that markets are saturated. There's a lot of people that are now selling courses. Everyone is an expert in the field, and that's created course fatigue. The market now looks for real support instead of just pre-recorded videos. So $500 products are also too expensive for the casual impulse buy. Most people aren't going to buy that on a cold ad, but what you need is to make it high touch enough for people to justify the cost. So now ad costs are up because of all the ad. Another thing is that ad costs are up because of all the meta updates, and also the integration of AI has definitely changed the whole landscape on how people access information and how it has become less of a commodity in today's world. So what she shifted from was the old information model, which began to rise in the early 2010s and then became something massive in 2020 when everyone was in lockdown. And what she's moved into is the implementation and optimization model. So the first thing you want to do in order to build an implementation model is to attract your leads with a free live training. Instead of you relying on long, complex, recorded, automated funnels, which most people don't trust in anymore because anyone can make it. A lot of people are using AI bots to create these kind of funnels. And she draws the target audience via a highly relevant live digital event. And what she does, we'll see later on, is she actually uses Zoom, which doesn't give it that polished feel where it can just be a live replayed webinar over and over again. And these act as and having free live trainings is a great way for you to have a lead generation engine of people coming in to your business and seeing what you're about and seeing how you can help them. And the next thing you want to do is to qualify your audience at entry. And for her new framework, she's entirely targeted business owners. She's made sure that it's business owners who are at least 150K or more in revenue every single year. And what she's doing here is she's targeting all the day students who have outgrown the basic how-to course students who wanted something that would help them to where they are in their business. It's not her whole market, it's not her whole entire audience, but with that percentage, that small percentage of women or coaches who have created their businesses and grown them and expanded them, they want the next level. And that's basically what she's giving them for a fee. And the next thing you want to do in your live workshop is you want to deliver instant value. Once you deliver instant value, that increases the trust that people have with you. It also allows them to be willing to make some sort of an investment, whether that's spending more time with you in other incubators or even going straight to buying one of your products after the workshop. And afterwards, she sends them into high touch coaching systems. So instead of just having your normal recorded courses like she used to have, now she actually is using consultations and she has structured coaching, which is high touch, where people can feel that no, they're actually being helped and they're not just getting content which they can get from anywhere, from an AI agent, or from other videos on YouTube. Most of these programs provide students with dedicated success coaches, which will basically help them through a 90-day period or sometimes even a full year, where they're given execution milestones and also constant accountability, which increases the rate that they increase their business revenue and move up the ladder. Then from there, what you want to do is have some sort of a mastermind for retention. This basically builds a clear ascension path for your coaching students. Most masterminds are a great way for you to have high client retention. And you want that in a coaching business because you don't want to constantly be spending money on ads and trying to get your next customer, or always trying to have another public launch like she was doing with DCA. So that's basically everything to do with the model that you moved into. If you're watching this video, most likely are a coach between 10 to 30K a month or even more. You're either a consultant, or influencer, or agency owner, or any other online business owner. And it's likely the case that you're relying on launching courses every other few weeks, hundreds of cold DMs every single day, unreasonable discounts and flash sales because it's Black Friday or it's the 4th of July, or posting 3 to 4 times a day. And the truth is that is exhausting. And what your funnel looks like is your content is normally chasing the next trend without any strategy, creating a bunch of followers, but they don't always convert into buyers. You're posting randomly with no intent. You build a small amount of trust. You're easily forgettable, which is something that we need in today's world. There's a lot of people posting content, and the people that actually make money are the people that stay top of mind in their niche and are able to constantly nurture their audience and move them into the point where they want to buy. Then your DMs are high friction. If you don't have an authority in your niche, it's very hard for you to create sales in your niche. And what that means is you have low trust and there's no differentiation between you or any other closers that are spamming people in the DM. Because of that, your calendar is inconsistent. You attract price shoppers, people that don't want to buy instead of premium buyers. And what that means is your calendar dries up when you stop posting, which is something that you don't want. You want to have a flywheel that works for you without having to put in inputs every single day. What you need to build is an expert funnel, which is something that Amy has built over the past decade or so. And what you'll see is that her content, she differentiates her content between top of funnel content, middle of funnel content, and bottom of funnel content. Top of funnel content is what attracts your audience. And then you have your middle of funnel content, which is what nurtures them and shows them who you are and keeps you top of mind. Then once they feel the need that they want to go to the next level, then you have your bottom of funnel content, which will convert your leads into sales. So what you'll see is your nurture process needs to be warming buyers before the sale. You build desire for your offer automatically. It makes prospects sell themselves on your offer, and it turns attention into buying intent. Also, it helps you to pre-sell your audience before they even enter onto a call. So you end up having more conversions on every single sales call your team takes or you take yourself. So what we need is a conversion mechanism as well that helps you to make the sale seamless, and then also helps your income to be ever increasing as the months go by. So how has Amy Porterfield built this type of funnel? So first thing we're going to look at is the phase one, which is the attraction phase, which is basically attracting you using content that's engineered to make sure that you're one, being top of funnel attracted, two, middle funnel, you're being nurtured, and then at the bottom, you're being converted into a buying client. So the first thing we'll see that she has a bio, and her bio is very specific to who she wants to help. So for here, you'll see that she's helping female founders. She also speaks about the fact that she's an author with a book. And then also over here, we'll see that she has a conversion mechanism at the top of her bio, asking people to send a DM for training. And we'll see what steps that takes you down whenever you type training in her DM. So her content is very specific. We'll see that it's niche to female founders. It's speaking to the different problems that they have. And also it's very aesthetic. You can see that you've landed on a page. And even if you were to see one of her carousels, you'd be able to know that it's her in your explore page. So what type of content does she post? So again, top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content. And why do you want to separate it? That way you're able to nurture a new lead that comes into your business and ascend them up the ladder from someone who's casually interested in what you sell and what you have to offer into someone that's actually hopping into a live call or hopping into a training of yours. So for first thing we'll look at is the top of funnel content. And the top of funnel content is mainly behind the scenes B-roll clips. These could be from a photo shoot that she has, or it can be teasing a new drop that comes. And these are just to get engagement from her audience and from people that don't know about her. This post creates interest as well in the reader, making them want to start to follow and see exactly what she offers and how she can help them to get to the next level in their business. Then from there, once a person follows, then you want to have your middle funnel content, which will be nurture content. The best type of nurture content can be podcast clips, or you just giving normal advice without selling or doing any pain point targeting. Then from there, you want to move on to bottom of funnel content. And here she specifically speaks to her female founders that are on seven figures, and she's showing how it may feel, and she's going to help them to build that bridge to get to that in a very easy way. Then another way is these teaching videos that are just giving massive value, which creates massive trust. But at the end, they have a CTA to go to the training, and people will get into that training sequence in her emails. Then again, also as well, B-roll clips that are speaking to female founders and calling them out to make sure that she promotes upcoming live or any other masterclasses that she's running. So then you want to move into different methods of lead capturing. And a great way to do that is using ManyChat. And she's done that when you type in training into her DM, then she sends you into other lead capture methods she uses is having a podcast where people comment underneath and then they get the podcast episode. So you'll build these sequences out that way you can capture leads into your email marketing system and your backend where you can nurture them and increase the lifetime value of each person that enters into your ecosystem. So here's an example of a ManyChat flow that you can build. This is something that we've built for our clients where someone DMs a word in Instagram, and from there we have the basic conversation like here that she has where she's just giving them the different links to where they can go and they can join, and you can set it in such a way where before someone actually gets the different lead magnets that they've asked for, you can start to capture their emails, send them to places like ActiveCampaign or your MailerLite and other CRMs that actually help you to build out an email sequence where you can target them, nurture them, and increase the touch points that you have with each person in your audience. Then another amazing tool that she uses is selling carousels. So instead of just using normal carousels, what she does is she uses the carousels to one specifically target the different pain points that the seven-figure business owners feel. For instance, here we'll see that she's speaking about how the offer needs to do the heavy lifting for the person. Marketing systems don't run whether they show up or not. And she's showing how these are the different things that she's placed in her business in order to grow to the levels that she did of going to six figures and then to her first million. So here's another example as well, where she's using this to just speak about a testimonial that a client of her has. Then she's going through the different pain points and the different mountains that the person had to climb in order to create that system that brought her $325,000. So then selling carousels there to do three things, which is to educate, to address objections, and drive viewers to take the buying action. So that's basically all that she's doing for her attraction phase. And then we'll look at the nurture phase. And nurture phase is where you want to start to increase the amount of hours that people spend with you. And a great way for you to do that is to use things like YouTube, where you're creating long form content that people can watch 10 to 30 minutes, 10 to an hour worth of content, hour-long videos that people can watch. And then what you want to do with these videos is to utilize the 7-11-4 formula, which basically says that people need 7 touch points on 11 hours on 4 different platforms. And YouTube is a great way for you to maximize that, because people are only watching like a 1-minute video on your Instagram or on your Facebook. They're just reading a short post. But once they can see a 30-minute video of you explaining your expertise, they can actually see that you know what you're speaking about and you're able to help them to get to the next level. And this just helps you to maximize that know, like, and trust factor, which increases the amount of conversions and book calls you'll have in your business. So every video she has is engineered for a specific purpose. Again, top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. The top of funnel is there to attract attention, build awareness, and generate new audiences. Your middle of funnel builds your trust, educates your prospects, and increases your buying interest. While your bottom of funnel is the one that will overcome all the objections that your audience has, create urgency, and convert viewers into buyers. Now we'll see that for her funnel, she does something that's very different. She uses Instagram more for top of funnel content, which is to go viral. And then her YouTube is mainly middle of funnel and bottom of funnel, where she's again, addressing those objections and getting people to understand the problems that they have and turn them into buyers. So an example of a middle funnel content that she has is these podcasts, like the one we just saw earlier, and she'll post a 45-minute long podcast where you're speaking about your audience and the different pain points that they have. And most of the time, people raise their hands and will end up going into your calendar and booking a call with you to work with you. Then conversion content. And what she does here is she specifically, again, handles objections and uses pain point marketing. For instance, here, she's addressing the fact that people don't have sales on their sales page, or people are working so hard, but they don't feel like it's coming back. And again, these are 35-minute videos, 40-minute video, 20-minute videos. And what these do is they increase the amount of time a person spends with you and your audience, and also increases the trust. That way, they're more likely to buy. And what you'll do is in these videos, you'll build urgency, you'll reduce the doubt that people have, you'll trigger decision making with these contents. For instance, if it's people struggling with sales page, which is not making enough sales for them in their business, then you can have a lead magnet that leads to an email sequence, and from there, training, and then take them to your high ticket course where people are working with you. Then what you're also doing here is you're increasing certainty. People are increasing the trust that they have in you. The next thing we're going to look at is the final phase of her funnel, which is to convert her audience. And what she does here, she just has a simple landing page on her Instagram. It's a landing page, it's hyperlinked there, and it's going into her workshop. The workshops are a great way for you to move leads, indoctrinate them, and then move them into a paid incubator once they've seen the value that you provide. And her sales page is very simple. She has a hook here, which agitates the core problem and pain point by asking a confronting question. So yeah, she asks, your online business is working, but why isn't your revenue growing with it? Basically targeting people that feel like they're stagnating with their income. And then from there, she has an above the fold opt-in. This is a great way to get leads that are already pre-sold from your content, whether it's on YouTube or you're on Instagram, and getting them to buy in and put in their details into your page. Then from there, she has a problem validation section, which she builds reports and shows the host that she understands their struggle. So here she's saying she understands what's out of sync, and you've learned the strategies, the frameworks, the proven concept, but revenue still feels impossible to predict, which is something that most coaching businesses feel. Then she has the promise, and you always want to give them your people the promise of what your training will give them, highlighting here she highlights the three aligned systems that the attendee is going to learn, which increases the trust the person is going to have. Then from here, I clearly defined what you'll learn section. This is great for you to show them the perceived value that they're going to get and outline the roadmap of the masterclass that they're going to attend. And then this disqualifying section. These are great for you to, one, repel leads that you don't want to work with, which are unqualified leads, maybe people that are just price shopping or just looking for their next get rich scheme. And it also helps you to define the qualified ideal clients and using self-identity and increasing their desire to go in and register. Because once they read this section, they're like, that's me. That's exactly who I am. I have a digital offer. I'm tired of doing all the things and not seeing results, and I know I'm capable of more. Then at the bottom, she just has a simple CTA, which restates the masterclass, the invitation, and provides a final registration form for them to put in their details and join at the end. Then once they do that, they are going to be put into an email sequence, and this will be running from day one until normally day five. Yeah, it's not supposed to be a day two, and it's a 5-day welcome sequence, and it's a pre-webinar sequence. And what you're trying to do is to deliver pre-webinar value, and this can be in the form of case studies or different points and value and information that people can consume. Also, overcoming objections that people may have before training. This increases the amount of sales that you'll have once people hop in and see exactly what it's all about. After the event, we transition into a post-webinar sequence. And basically what this does is it turns the sequence into a sales mechanism, shares all the breakthroughs, the testimonials, and drives the urgency towards a limited time offer. And from there, we're going to look at the webinar funnel that she uses. And this is the perfect webinar funnel. It's not saying exactly what she's using, but this is most likely what she has in place and what you need to start building when you're running webinars. So for instance, yeah, so you have your sequence of emails from Monday until Thursday, day 1 until 4. And these are just getting people to go to the confirmation page. And whether you have a $27 webinar, doesn't matter, or a free webinar, you're still going to send them to a confirmation page where you can make sure that they put in their details. And then from there, once they've confirmed, you send them to indoctrination pages, which will basically just be made up of these things that we've covered here, the different testimonials, you're handling objections as well, so that when they actually enter, they're most likely a warm lead and are ready and willing to buy. Then on Thursday, you have your webinar. And for all those people that don't attend, you're going to send them to a replay sequence where they're going to get Q&As and replay. And she's actually doing a Q&A over here that she's selling for people to go onto. So from here, you've missed our call, and then she sends them to a live Q&A that she's going to be hosting. And you can run that from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this will increase the scarcity and the urgency. People are already signing in from your social medias into some sort of a webinar sequence. It shows that they know what they want and they're most likely going to buy. And it's your job to push them over the line into paying customers for your business. So now, if you've reached this point in the video, you're 1 out of 3 people, you're either person A, person B, or person C. And if you're person A, you most likely are a casual viewer who's not quite ready to take action, and that's totally fine. You're just watching this because it's a valuable breakdown and it might go completely over your head and you might change nothing to business, and you'll carry on doing the same exact things you've always done, which means you keep getting the same exact results and stagnant results in your business because you don't have a funnel like the one we've just covered. Or you're person B, who's an action taker, but you're not ready to invest financially in your business growth. You're going to probably rewatch this video or other videos on my channel multiple times, take pages of notes, and try to piece everything together and put this entire strategy for yourself, which can be tiring. It takes some months of exhausting trial and error, building out the content, the complex funnels, and the precise positioning strategy, which she's using now to build a business at her level or above. Or your person C, which means you are a serious action taker. You value your time, which is something that's important if you have a business, and you're ready to actively invest in your business. You want an expert team like the one we've built by your side to bypass the guesswork and install everything that we've just covered specifically for your unique targeted niche and audience. And we will personally review your content and strategy and optimize your market positioning and build out the exact high converting funnels you need to scale your business and unlock an extra 100K in revenue in a matter of 3 to 6 months. If that is you, then I have a calendar link that's linked in my bio, and you can click there. And what we'll do is we'll go and have one-on-one audit call. We'll go through your entire funnel and we'll help you to see all the leaks. And attached with that, we'll give you a playbook of exactly the next steps that you should have. And if you really enjoy the value that we go through on that call, then we can start helping you to build out those different pieces in your business and give you the different funnel strategies, give you content consultations that help you to have targeted content that brings in more leads, gets more followers, but also converts them into high paying customers and increases the amount of conversions you have in your business and your revenue over time. And if you've reached this part of the video, like and subscribe. There's more content that we're going to be showing you of exactly how other coaches are building out their businesses and how you can install those systems into your own business. Thank you for watching.